So welcome back to some more Grand Theft Auto Vice City. In this part, we will be completing the 4 chopper checkpoint side missions, which is a requirement to do in order to get 100% in this game. Now, you're going to have 2 of these missions on Vice City East and 2 on Vice City West, and we'll begin here at Vice Point on Vice City East, doing this particular chopper checkpoint mission because the starting location of this mission is on the ground, meaning that it's very easy to get to. All you have to do is drive on over to it. And that's going to be the case for 2 of these chopper checkpoint missions, including this one. And for the other 2, the chopper checkpoint missions are going to be located on rooftops, which can be annoying to get to because it's not as easy as just going up some stairs or climbing a ladder or something, which I know you can't do in this game anyways, but it involves using ramps, and it just, it's kind of like doing a stunt jump in a way to get on over to the roof, and it's very easy to screw up the jump in terms of maybe overshooting the rooftop or undershooting it, and it just leads to, a couple of headaches. So the way I figure it is, why not go to this first one here, because it is located on the ground, so it's very easy to get to, and use this Sparrow once we're done with our business here, and fly on over to the rooftop that holds the other chopper checkpoint mission. I just think that's a lot easier than finding whatever thing will ramp you up to the rooftop. So, just landing right on next to where you need to get to works out very well. And also, there are going to be instances, potentially, and this happens on the PlayStation 4, I know, and PC, where the Sparrow doesn't spawn in. So that doesn't mean that you can't do the mission. If you have a Sparrow of your own, you can fly on over to where the mission is supposed to start, and then that'll activate the mission. You just need a Sparrow there. It doesn't necessarily have to be a Sparrow that the game spawns in, so you might want to consider going on over to a location where the Sparrow spawns in, getting into that Sparrow, and flying away a decent amount, exiting the Sparrow and then re-entering it, and then continuing your flight, because by exiting and then re-entering, you fail the mission that you're currently doing, which would happen, it would activate whenever you enter one of these particular Sparrows. So you don't want to have a mission active when you're at another checkpoint chopper checkpoint mission location. So, that's something you can do too, in case a Sparrow doesn't spawn in, or hell, if you just want a Sparrow to fly around with, maybe you're doing missions or something, well, that'll work out the same way too. You just enter it, fly a little distance away, exit, and then re-enter it, and then do whatever you want with it. So anyways, we have now moved on to our second chopper checkpoint mission, this time at Ocean Beach, and as you saw, I just flew on over to it instead of trying to find the proper jump to get onto that rooftop. So yeah, it's really fantastic just having that Sparrow on the ground for you to use anytime you want it, as long as it spawns in, which in my case, I've never had it not spawn in when I've needed it. But anyways, I've got to say, I really do enjoy these missions. The only semi-difficult one would be the 4th chopper checkpoint mission that we're going to be doing in this part, but I do have minor annoyances with these missions, and right there you saw it with the palm tree, and me kind of getting dinked off of it, because there are often times where I think I'm fairly far away from whatever object I dink into, like a palm tree, like a stoplight, like the side of a building or something, but then I end up hitting into it anyways, because that's just how the hitboxes work. They seem to be a bit more expanded than they appear, so that's something you kind of got to watch out for. But overall, I really do enjoy doing these missions, and maybe it's because of the finesse of the helicopters in this particular game, because I know in future Grand Theft Auto games, hell, even in San Andreas, you can notice a bit of a difference in the resistance you get when maneuvering into a certain direction. Like, if you're turning in the helicopter, it feels like you're pushing against something in San Andreas, and in 4 and 5 especially, but in Vice City, it just seems very loose with its controls, and I like that quite a bit. It gives you an opportunity to potentially overshoot where you're going, but at the same time, it's nice just being able to do what you want to do quickly, so it's all about being fast, I suppose, and I like that quite a bit in comparison to future Grand Theft Auto games and how they improved the helicopter. But even that, again, this is just minor stuff, nothing crazy major to complain about or praise or anything like that. It's just fun stuff all around, except for that reward of $100. I think that's pretty pathetic right there, but maybe I'll spend that all at pole position or something. But anyways, we've moved on to our third chopper checkpoint mission, which is here in Little Haiti, and I actually thought it was going to be on top of the Kaufman Cabs rooftop, but it turns out it's a bit of a ways away from there, and it's going to be located on this rooftop here. And again, you can avoid the frustration of using a ramp or something to jump up onto this rooftop, and you can just fly on over to it. And there is going to be a chopper checkpoint mission that is initiated on the ground, so you can potentially just use that chopper checkpoint spawn location and use that chopper that spawns there to get to this place here, because I was reading up, and on the wiki it says that the PlayStation 4 and PC players might have a bit of difficulty getting this Sparrow to spawn in for this Little Haiti chopper checkpoint side mission, so that's something to kind of watch out for. And again, you can just take a Sparrow from another location and bring it on over to this location in Little Haiti to activate the mission at, so that's something you can do. And you might want to like pause the video at the point in which I entered the Sparrow that was located on the rooftop that spawned in for me, so you can see where to park your Sparrow to activate the mission, because I think you have to enter a Sparrow at a particular location. So you'll fly the Sparrow on over and then exit it and then re-enter it, and then that should activate the chopper checkpoint side mission if you parked it at the right spot on the rooftop. So yeah, that's something you can do. But overall though, we have more or less the same business here, in that the mission is quite fun to do. So something else that I'd like to kind of praise to an extent in its controls, and I know that some people might find the helicopter to control like ass in this game, and that's completely fine. You know, I'm not saying that my word is fact or anything. We've all got opinions on different things here, so what I find to be easy to do might be difficult for others, and what some people find easy to do might be difficult for me, so it goes both ways, and there are some in-betweens as well, so I've got no objections to that. But either way though, I like to kind of talk about the RC vehicles in this game, and I know people tend to piss all over the RC missions in these early Grand Theft Auto games from, well, not really 3, because in 3 you had those RC Barons that you would use to explode gang cars with, and that's a load of fun. I've never seen anybody complain about those missions in Grand Theft Auto 3, but in Vice City and in San Andreas especially, you have the mission for Zero called Supply Lines, where you have to control that RC Baron, and a lot of people find that to just be a real pain in the ass, and you know, I'm not going to say I object to that, because the controls are absolute piss, but I don't know, I don't find it as bad as some other people do. And in this game especially, like the helicopter mission that you do for Avery Carrington with the RC helicopter thing, yeah, I really didn't find that to be overly difficult. Which, that mission was called Demolition Man, yeah, that's what it was called. And you also had the mission called Bombs Away that you do for Antipole and all that. I mean, that mission, Bombs Away, turned out to be so smooth for me. Like, I'm so happy with the result, because I did such a good job, I think, in doing that mission. You know, patting myself on the back quite a bit for that. And you know what else is a good part? The G Spotlight part. And before I dive into that, the reason why I'm pointing it out is because in order for the Sparrow to spawn in at the downtown chopper checkpoint mission location, which is what we're doing right now, in order for the Sparrow to spawn in, you have to complete G Spotlight. However, that does not mean that you can't do the mission, because like with any of the other chopper checkpoint missions, you can bring your own Sparrow if you want to. So this mission is no exception to that. You can bring your own Sparrow if the Sparrow doesn't spawn in for you, which, if you haven't completed G Spotlight, it wouldn't spawn in for you. So you can just bring your own from any of the other chopper checkpoint mission locations and do the mission that way, using that Sparrow. So that's just something I wanted to point out, and I think it might have been a bit of an oversight on Rockstar's part, because I don't think they planned it that way, but it works out in the end for people who, I guess, would prefer to do some side activities before doing the film studio asset mission strand. So to each their own in that regard. I prefer holding all that off until the very end, you know, with these miscellaneous activities, including the chopper checkpoint side missions. So yeah, it works out for me in the end, without having to worry about bringing my own Sparrow, which I did anyways to fly on over, so it wouldn't have mattered anyways. I'm just kind of rambling at this point, but the G Spotlight part, oh man. I mean, before I used to think that the Rickardia montage that I re-uploaded was like the best video I've ever done, which I think is number 2 now. It's like a Call of Duty montage that features my buddies and mine while I edit our gameplay to the sweet sounds of LCD Sound System, which includes having an ad over it because it's a copyright thing, but, you know, as long as the video doesn't get taken down, I'm pretty happy. You know, I'm a happy camper about that. But anyways, though, G-Spotlight, it's like, I know it's not like a movie, or it doesn't have, like, the level of editing that a movie has or something like that, but it was a lot of fun to make, just implementing that Pokemon reference thing, which is a reference not only to Pokemon, but also to Little Karibo's Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series, because there's a part that does that same exact thing, but also putting Taylor Swift in place of Candy Sucks on the Spotlight. Man, that was just so awesome. I'm so happy with the result, and that right there is what it's all about for making videos, you know? It's like, it's all about just being proud of what you're making and stuff, so, you know, I mean, that's the vibe I get from a video like that, so I'm pretty happy with the result of it. So anyways, that completes this part, that completes this fun little video here, and in the next part we'll be doing the off-road vehicle mission, so until then, I will see you next time.